Let me start this video off by saying I am not a Spirit Airlines hater. I love Spirit Airlines. I fly them all the time. I buy my bags. I buy my seat. I sit in the front. I don't have any problems. I don't want no smoke with Spirit. However, I got caught up with all that mess. Let me tell you the story. July 13th, it was me, my mama, who's on a wheelchair, 2 check bags, and my dog, Shiloh, and a carry-on bag, okay? We all traveled. We knew we were going to be gone for at least 10 days, no problem. We went to Chicago, O'Hare, got a rental car, stayed in Chicago, visit family and friends, all good stuff, tap dance, the whole nine, okay? On Friday, July 19th, we were headed from Chicago to go to Charlotte for our family reunion, okay? Spirit Airlines. Now, when we got to the airport that morning, 2 hours in advance, hour and a half, no big deal, 2 hours maybe, that's when the lines was out the door. Spirit, American, United, it was crazy. I had never seen anything like that in my life. Now, mind you, I'm with my mom, who needs a wheelchair, 2 check bags, a carry-on bag, and a dog, plus myself, plus 2 purses, plus, baggage, right? So I'm like, okay, I had to drop the rental car off, come back to the front desk. It was crazy. Everything was manual. People was missing their flights. People needed to go to Orlando, Dallas, all these kind of places. Well, we were going to miss our flight if I did not bum rush, legit bum rush through about 500, 600, 700 people. I bum rushed. I said, Mama, you wait right here. I'm finna go get our tickets. Mind you, I got my dog in my hand because there's too many people for him to just be down. So I'm holding my dog, and he kind of heavy. He 10 pounds, and after a while, 10 pounds is heavy. They manually checked us in, like on the paper. And then they manually checked our bags, right? They had to write down boarding passes, and they had to write down our ticket for our bags. So, by the grace of God, we went through the gate. We got on our flight. Me, my mom, and the dog. We ended up not using the wheelchair because it was just going to be too much, and we were going to be late. We get on our flight. The flight leaves and goes to Charlotte. We land. Now, mind you, it was the day of the crisis. So we was on that landing strip or whatever for about an hour before we could even board the gate. Whatever, as long as we get there. We get to go to look for our bags, okay? Carousel 2 in Charlotte, North Carolina. Our bags were not there. None of our bags were there. Nobody on that flight got their bags because guess what? They never made the flight. At this point, they could still be in Chicago or they could not be. But the Spirit Airlines people couldn't check because their system was down. So they couldn't see, oh, your bags are still here. They didn't know. So Friday the 19th, Saturday the 20th, we didn't know where our bags were. For all we knew, they could have got on another flight, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, we knew some people that hooked us up and let us know that our bags were still in Chicago, O'Hare. Good. So, on Sunday, when it was time for us to leave from Charlotte to go to Vegas, back home, I said, Mom, you know what? I don't trust these people. Because Mama was like, oh, they could just send it home. I'm like, nah, scratch that. I'm going to go get the bags. So, me and my dog flew. This was the craziest day of my life. I've never traveled so much. I'm going to just tell y'all. Me and my dog, we flew from Charlotte, North Carolina to Chicago O'Hare. But we had to stop in Nashville. So we stopped in Nashville for 5 hours, 5-hour layover. Beautiful airport, by the way. I love me some Nashville airport. We flew from Charlotte, North Carolina to Nashville to Chicago O'Hare. Now, mind you, there are 2 check bags, a carry-on bag, and a dog. At this point, I'm just mad irritated because one, I just got to get these bags, and two, who gonna help me carry all these bags and roll these bags down? Thank you, I had a cart, blah, blah, blah. We worked it all out. But still, that's a lot to travel with alone. So I went from Charlotte to Nashville to Chicago O'Hare. Now check this. I'm like, scratch. They didn't have any flights. And by the way, I flew Southwest doing all that other stuff, okay? I flew Spirit going, but I flew Southwest back. Okay? Because there's 2 check bags for free. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have any flights leaving Chicago O'Hare to go back to Vegas that night. I was not finna stay at the airport. I'm done. So at that point, I had hit 3 airports with 2 flights. So I flew from Chicago Midway back home to Vegas on a straight flight. But I only had an hour window from Chicago O'Hare to Chicago Midway to catch that flight. When I tell you I was under a lot of stress, and my Uber driver was, shout out to my Uber driver because he was going ham, getting me from O'Hare to Midway. So that's 4 airports. I went to Midway, flew to Vegas with 2 check bags, a carry-on, and a dog. I got to Vegas by midnight the same day. At this point, it's 5 airports, 3 flights, all that baggage, and a dog. Y'all, when I tell y'all I was tired, I was tired. And I'm not even going to tell you about the stuff I had to do in the airport to hurry up and make. It was crazy. But I'm grateful we made it home. But that's my airport horror story. I'm not going to say never again I'm not flying Spirit because I love Spirit. But I know one thing, I ain't checking no bags.